Okay, so let's upholster the inside of the box using some score tape. And you know I love the score tape because I can just rip those pieces off. And it's super, super sticky. Just measure that a little bit. You don't have to worry about cutting it because it just tears. Love that. Okay, so now we're going to upholster this piece here. And I'm just going to do that by laying it right up to the seam. Don't cover that seam because you need that seam to be able to bend like that. And if you cover it, it won't be able to bend easily. Okay. Now we're going to do the inside bottom of the box. And you can see you really don't need a lot of score tape. Just a little bit will really stick nicely. And that one will go in the center. And I like to check it to make sure it still bends when I do that. Okay. And we're going to upholster this side. Then we're going to seal the box up. And it doesn't matter, you can lay your score tape here or you can lay it right on your cardstock, whatever's easier for you. You can do it either way. And we'll put that piece right there. Okay, so now we've got two sides and the bottom of our box upholstered. Now the next step is to put the box back together and then we're going to upholster the last piece. So the best way to do that is to actually put the score tape on this part of the box. And we'll do the other side too. And because you're using lots of cardstock to upholster the box, it's going to give it even a little bit more strength and make it a sturdier box than it was even before. But a Kleenex box is a pretty sturdy box to begin with. Okay. So now I'm going to pull those edges away and I'm going to fold this part in and stand it up. And then pop the box back together again like that. Once I know it's in the right position, then I can really press on that score tape. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now my next step is to upholster the inside of both of these sides in here. And again, just going to check my cardstock to make sure it fits, and it does. Thank goodness. And add some score tape to each side. And now I'm going to pop it into place like that. And you can see the whole inside of that box is really starting to look nice. And my last piece, check it, make sure it fits. It fits. It should fit. But you know how things go. You should always check twice, measure twice, and then stick once. Okay. And last piece going in. Same thing, slide it in there and press down. Now I have a beautifully upholstered inside part of my box. And now we're going to do the outside. First, I'm going to take my Copic marker again and I'm going to color the bottom just along the perimeter there. Now, because Copic markers are kind of translucent when they go on, it may change the color just a bit, especially in this case because I'm using a blue box. But it's not enough to change, to ruin the look of the box. If you're really concerned with that, you can pick your tissue boxes to match your home decor and pick paper to match those tissue boxes, and then you won't have to worry about that. The edges will probably match okay. But I don't mind that little bit of contrast in those cranberries. And now the next step, let's measure that and make sure that that covers nicely. And it does. So we're going to put some score tape. Now for this one, because it's the outside, I'm going to add a little bit of extra score tape. So I'm going to do the whole perimeter of this little piece of cardstock. Because I really want to make sure that it sticks and no edges pop up. Okay. Just remove all that tape. I'm going to have quite a pile of tape covers over there. Okay, and I'm going to have to face this toward me here, even though you might not be able to see me do it as well. There we go. And now we have the bottom of the box covered. Okay. Now, the next step is to take the longer piece of the two pieces of cardstock that you cut and scored, and go ahead and fold at the score lines, and now we're going to check it to make sure it fits. So you're going to have a little flap here and a little flap here, and that's exactly what you want it to look like. So, and you can do this with some nice long strips of score tape. And score tape is so amazing because it doesn't seem like you're using very much, but boy, does it have sticking power. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the box and I'm going to start at one of the corners and line it up and fold it at that corner. And do the same thing on that side. So now that's going right around the box. You can see it's really coming together. And then my last step for my colored cardstock is to then just attach this onto this side. Now if it's a little bit big, and in this case it is just a little bit big, let me grab my paper cutter. You can cut just a tiny little bit off the edge. That's why I always say check it before you stick it on there. So I'm going to cut just 1/4 of an inch off of each side. And that should make it fit just a little bit more snugly. And we'll check it again. There we go. Perfect. All right. And the same thing, a little bit of score tape. Now this piece, you may want to add a little extra score tape, especially down the edge here, because this is going to be your piece that finishes the cranberry part of the project off. So I would go close to the edge on that. Make sure you have enough. And peel those pieces off. And finish it off same way. There we go. Now we have all the cranberry parts done on the box.